Hi everyone. Have you been thinking about moving to the Corvallis, Oregon area in the Mid-Valley, and you're wondering about what it's like to be outdoorsy and go hiking here? Well, welcome to Hike-Vallis. I'm Michael Krasilovsky, and I'm a realtor here in the Mid-Willamette Valley out of Remax in Corvallis, Oregon. So let's dive right into talking about the hiking in the area. First, you should know that we're filming this in Fitton Green, and it is a mid-October day with overcast skies and a little bit of drizzle on and off, and there's still enough people playing outside that I actually made a point of avoiding Bald Hill today because the parking lot had so many cars in it that I figured I'd just be in people's way. So it's easy to play outside year-round here, and people do just that. But diving right in. So the first thing we want you to know is that the Mac-Dunn forest has got to be on your radar. If you're watching a video like this, you're probably doing your research about the area. So the Mac-Dunn forest is something you should check out. Mac-Dunn is a majority of hiking trails in this area. This is a big forest, and the Mac-Dunn forest is a research forest that's actually managed by the College of Forestry at Oregon State University. Now, I've helped people move in and out of different homes in neighborhoods that were adjacent to the Mac-Dunn forest, like in the Northwest Hills, just because they needed either a bigger or a smaller house, but they still wanted to be in the same neighborhood to have proximity to trailheads. So it's really a sought-after area and very easily accessible from the main part of town, too. It's 10 or 15 minutes away. About 99% of the trails, from what we can tell, are off-leash friendly for dogs. So if you are into having pets in the area, be sure to check out our Hike-Vallis video as part of this mini-series too. The Mac-Dunn forest includes Peavy Arboretum, P-E-A-V-Y, and Peavy Arboretum has a lot of really cool educational signage describing the wildlife, so you gotta check that out here too. It is in northwest Corvallis off of Arboretum Road, basically, if I recall correctly. We'll have to put a screenshot on the map or something since I have a very poor sense of direction. Next thing we want you to know about is Lewisburg Saddle. Lewisburg Saddle is up towards the northwest Corvallis Lewisburg Vineyard Mountain area. It's all just part of Corvallis. It's maybe 10 to 15 minutes from the rest of town. Lewisburg Saddle has a big network of trails that range from like beginner to difficult. There's a very wide range of options there. And the Lewisburg Saddle has a lot of parking and really easy access to the trailheads. And if you want to get even further out, you can go from Lewisburg Saddle just kind of north, and you can drive just through some beautiful country roads out in the Soap Creek area, and it'll connect you all the way up with Highway 99 in Adair Village too. So it's a great way to explore if you want to go for a hike and a drive kind of all at the same time. Next place we want you to know about is Chip Ross Park, also in northwest Corvallis. Chip Ross Park is just up Highland. It's like up the hill, down the hill. Actually, not down the hill. It's like up the hill and at the top of the hill and over on Lester Avenue. Chip Ross Park is really close to Crescent Valley High School in northwest Corvallis, and it's kind of like moderate level trails that have really awesome valley views. It's wonderful out there at the top of a hill. It's a great place to go for a hike, and if I recall correctly, Chip Ross Park kind of connects over to the top of 29th Street where the Timber Hill Natural Area is as well. I think they just kind of connect together. Another place that you've got to know about as part of Hike-Vallis are both the old growth trail and new growth trails in the Mac-Dunn forest. They've got some really old trees, and that's one of the things that I love about Oregon. If you're visiting here from another area, you'll be really impressed with just how big some of the trees are here. I'm from the East Coast, and I never realized the difference until I went back to the East Coast to visit after living here. The old growth and new growth trails also have some really great educational signage, again from the College of Forestry at Oregon State University. Definitely check them out. Next up is Fitton Green Natural Area, which is again where we're filming this today. Fitton Green's got a little over 300 acres. It's classified as like beginner to moderate level hiking, and it's got amazing valley views, including views of Mary's Peak, which are really iconic. Now today again happens to be an overcast October day. That is Mary's Peak out in the clouds back there, but it's a gorgeous place to go for a hike and get away from it all. Bikers and trail runners are welcome here, and there's trails actually connecting from the Fitton Green area all the way over into the Wren, W-R-E-N, the Wren area west of Philomath. There was this time that I was actually at Cardwell Hill Cellars in the Wren area in Philomath, Kings Valley, Wren area, and I saw this family like hiking up to the vineyard, and they're holding their dog, and I thought something was wrong. Turned out they had just hiked to Cardwell Hill Cellars from the Fitton Green area, and their puppy was just getting too tired. So think about that. What a great reward for a long hike in the valley is stopping for a winery to do a tasting flight of some nice Pinot Noirs or something. How outstanding is this? I love Oregon. Speaking of Cardwell Hill, that's the same general area, of course, as Fitton Green. It's like right over there. And that's another way to get a hike in that could take you out to the Wren or Philomath area where you can, get a pit stop at one of the many wineries in the area. Be sure to check out future upcoming video, Hike-Vallis, where we'll talk a little bit more about Cardwell Hill, Lumos, Harris Bridge Vineyards, all right there in that vicinity. Next up today is Bald Hill. Bald Hill is super family friendly because there's a very level paved path there. So you'll even see people with like little kids and strollers just going for a walk or a hike along that paved path. But if you want to make Bald Hill more challenging, you can totally do that. You just go up the hill and there's dirt paths there too. Really fun thing to do at Bald Hill is to bring a picnic lunch with you and find the kind of barn shelter and just have a picnic up in the shelter. And then if you want to have a more challenging hike, go for it. Just be aware that in Bald Hill, if you do go into the dirt path areas in the wintertime, when it's really wet, that will be very, very muddy. So you need to make appropriate plans so that you don't get stranded in a muddy hike. Bald Hill area also includes a nice kind of smallish off-leash area for dogs while we're thinking of it. Next up, we want to talk a little bit about Alsea Falls. Now, Alsea Falls is about a half-hour drive away from the Corvallis-Philomath area, but it's like an honorable mention. It's got to be on your radar for a variety of reasons, even though it's not right here. So, what you need to know about Alsea Falls is that there's a bunch of waterfalls out there, and it's classified as like beginner to moderate level hiking trails. There's even campsites if you want to stay overnight. So if you're visiting for like a long weekend and you want to check out the area, that could be a great excuse to go a little bit further out and check out a more rural, beautiful waterfall hiking area. Maybe even go from there to Mary's Peak or even over to the coast, if you want to get a little further away from the heart of the valley. Definitely keep Alsea Falls on your radar. All right, Mary's Peak. So I love Mary's Peak. I'm sure that's obvious in these videos. Mary's Peak is the tallest peak of the Coast Range, and it's an elevation of about 4,000 feet. So not that tall, but Mary's Peak has beautiful trails. There's a lot of different trails going all the way up to the summit, probably moderate to intense difficulty level, but if you want, you can just drive right up Mary's Peak anyway and take a picnic lunch, hang out at the top, get expansive valley views, and then go for a light hike while you're up there. You don't have to hike up and down the whole thing. So keep this in mind, but do know that it'll be cold up on the top of Mary's Peak, and sometimes they'll even have ice and snow, even when the rest of the valley just looks normal. So check out the Mary's Peak website before you go, and it is a pay station. There's an honor box for, I think, $5 at the top, or you can buy a year-long pass from Bi-Mart for like $15 for all the state parks, if I recall correctly. So Mary's Peak, one of my favorite things, grabbing a picnic lunch, driving up there and then going for a light hike. I really hope Mary's Peak is on your radar. And be sure to check out the driving tour playlists feature on this YouTube channel, because at some point we'll also be sure to have a Mary's Peak drive on there. Okay, next up is Starker Forest. Now, Starker Forest is connected to the Mac-Dunn Forest and is also managed by Oregon State University. Fun fact, the Starker family is from Benton County, Oregon, and as far as I know, they are actually responsible for the creation of 1031 tax-deferred exchanges being national tax code. So if you want to know more about that, we help people do 1031s, but that's a separate video. It's kind of like playing Monopoly in real life to defer capital gains until later. Starker Forest is also a great place, while we're talking about the forest, Starker Forest is also a great place for hunting and fishing, provided that you get the proper permits. So if that's your cup of tea, definitely check out Starker Forest. All right, going back into town, Willamette Park. There's a trail right along the river in Willamette Park that you've got to know about. It's another really level, paved trail. It's about 2.5 miles long if you do the whole thing. It's got lovely views of the river, and it provides easy access all the way between downtown Corvallis and Southtown Corvallis. So if you live in Southtown, this might be one of your favorite trails already, because you can just go for a walk or a jog or a bike ride into downtown and go to the farmers markets on a Saturday morning, for example. This is a great, really easy to access trail. There's also some dirt trails going down to the water. So if you're into floating the river in the summertime, that's where people always put in, and then they finish their river float by the Michael's Landing area, which is now like the old spaghetti factory restaurant area north of downtown. So common place to see people floating the river, swimming, or just relaxing on the bank in the park, reading a book. Love Willamette Park for a variety of reasons. That paved hiking trail, walking trail is one of them. All right, next up, super fun to get to announce that the Corvallis to Sea, SEA, the Corvallis to Sea, the Corvallis to Coast Trail, 62 miles, is now completed very recently. And as we're filming this, it's late 2021, and this is just so cool to see happen. It's been in the works for a long time. It's a great opportunity to get some paved hiking. There's bike lanes, there's some gravel roads. This has been in the works, I think, for decades at this point. The whole time I've lived here and then some. I actually live on a very small portion of the Corvallis to Sea Trail, so I've technically been on part of it, but I've definitely not had a chance to do the whole thing yet, if that ever happens for me. We'll see. Be aware that you can get permits and you can camp along the way if you'd like on the Corvallis to Coast Trail. There's this Northwest Connector bus that offers bus services, I think 4 times daily between Newport, Oregon and Corvallis, Oregon. So consider hiking all the way out to the coast, staying there for the night maybe, and then just taking that bus back, or vice versa. Some really cool options there if you're outdoorsy. Of course, don't forget about the various wildlife reserves like E.E. Wilson Wildlife Reserve, Finley Wildlife Refuge, Kings Valley area, Chintimony, the Greenbelt Land Trust. There's so much more than we're featuring in this Hike-Vallis video. We're really just scratching the surface here so that we can put some places on your radar so that when you get to visit, you can have some fun and feel the outdoorsiness that Oregon provides. Special thanks to my team members, Kelly and Cody, who you can direct all your questions to about hiking in the area, because they were instrumental in putting this video together, because I don't really get to play outside that much, and they are all-stars at going for hikes on weekends. Thank you very much for checking out this video on Hike-Vallis. Be sure to check out some of our other videos in this little mini-series playlist. Use the playlist feature on YouTube after, of course, subscribing and hitting the bell so that you don't miss content from us. And you can learn more in that playlist about not just Hike-Vallis, but Park-Vallis, Bike-Vallis, Dog-Vallis, Art-Vallis, Beer-Vallis, and more. I'm Michael Krasilovsky out of Remax in Corvallis, Oregon. Let me know if I can be a resource for you. Appreciate your viewership. Thanks, and bye for now.